The Genius Society is a group of individuals who are said to be at the pinnacle of science and technology. Each member is said to be decades, even centuries ahead of most of the universe, with some achieving miraculous scientific achievements bordering on magic. But even among the most learned of them, there is an individual they all fear. An individual that recently has been systematically taking them out, one by one. What's even scarier is that they know absolutely nothing about her, which is ironic since as geniuses, they should know pretty much everything else. So, if Polka Kakamond has built such an infamous and fearsome reputation for killing the members of the Genius Society, why hasn't she killed Dr. Primitive? Could it be that they are working together, or maybe Kakamond secretly likes monkeys? Well, that's what we're gonna discuss in this video. Before we get into that, if you want to see more Honkai Star Rail content, do consider subscribing to the channel. Now, I know you want to get into the theories, but let me give you some background information first for those of you who might not be aware. Let's start with Kakamond. Polka Kakamond is the fourth member of the Genius Society, a group of brilliant individuals handpicked by the Eon of Erudition. For some time now, she has targeted several Genius Society members during her personal murdering spree. We don't actually know what she looks like, as she has somehow managed to obscure herself from the wider universe. Now, this isn't just deleting her social media accounts, every image or mention of her has disappeared or been corrupted in some way. When Herta commissioned a portrait of her, right after it was completed, the same censored pixels appeared on it as well. My guess is that some kind of memetic virus is at work here, erasing every footprint of her throughout the cosmos, but it's not actually revealed yet how she actually achieves this. As if that wasn't creepy enough, even her motivations have been shrouded in mystery for quite a while. That is until the unknowable domain event. It's revealed that Kakamond has been killing the geniuses as a way to uphold Nous' goals. You see, according to her, Nous, the Eon of Erudition, has recently found the ultimate answer to existence. Through millennia of computations, Nous has figured out the perfect model of the universe, one that avoids destruction and finality. Now, we don't know what this predictive model states in terms of how the universe should function, but Kakamond does reveal part of how it can be achieved. According to her, anytime new information or knowledge is discovered, such as from the works of other geniuses, the circle of knowledge encompassing the universe expands. Each time it expands, it pushes the universe into uncertainty, and in doing so, moves away from Nous' model. In order to achieve the perfect universe Nous calculated, only certain information and discoveries are allowed, at least that's how Kakamond sees it. Because of this, she has taken it upon herself to actually manage the growth of knowledge and why she's going around killing geniuses. It's not only to remove them, but to ensure their knowledge and discoveries don't spread. That is Kakamond's true goal, at least at this moment in the story. Now, let's talk a bit about Dr. Primitive. Primitive, much like his criminal senior, is also a member of the Genius Society and a wanted fugitive. While most other geniuses often have research areas that either benefit humanity or at the very least doesn't disrupt or disturb them, Primitive is kind of the opposite. He's one of those ends justify the means type of person and would experiment on humans or other species if he deems it necessary. This uncaring nature for scientific progress is what makes him a fugitive, wanted by many different planets and organizations. One of the main reasons he is so infamous is due to his atavistic experiments. Primitive sees most civilizations as having not reached their intellectual potential and have largely stagnated. Because of this, he graciously gives them a chance to rediscover and try again by forcibly devolving them. This means that he leaves entire planets and even systems regress back to their primordial ancestors. For human planets, this essentially means every person involved gets changed back into a monkey. Now, he's done a lot of other nasty things that involve human experimentation and even black market stuff, but this is what he's largely known for. Also, he's very likely a monkey. So here we have a genius who wants to kill other geniuses so that her god can achieve their long-term plans, and a monkey who is helping civilizations reach their true potential and conducting despicable experiments on whoever he wishes. You would think at some point their paths would have crossed and Kakamond would have offed him by now. But as you know, Primitive is still alive and well. I mean, even Skrulla mentions to Himeko that most of the geniuses in the society were killed by Kakamond. So why not kill the 64th member? Well, I have a couple of ideas, and this is when we get into the theories. Firstly, is perhaps that given Kakamon is trying to adhere to the model nous developed, maybe Primitive's actions are considered a canon event. Perhaps everything he does is within Nous's calculations and is maybe even needed to achieve their perfect utopia. How a universe full of monkeys is the key to achieving a perfect world, I don't know, but if Kakamon hasn't killed him yet, it's probably because he's either not causing the universe to divert from Nous's calculations or is actually a needed part of it. Alternatively, given part of his interest involves regressing individuals back to their primal state, this might actually help Nous's plan or model. Since Kakamon's goal is to prevent the overexpansion of knowledge, the less people there are to discover things, the less likely knowledge can grow. Kakamon has killed individuals outside of the society like Batavia Somerville, who used Rubert's technology to artificially expand her own knowledge, so maybe Primitive's actions help with this somewhat. Now, you might be saying that, well, if the whole universe is forcibly regressed, then no advancement at all can happen, which also throws a wrench in Nous's plans. If nous wants to create the perfect universe, at least some discoveries must be allowed, right? Well, maybe that's already happened and Primitive's efforts just counterbalance it. Kakamon's goal is really about control rather than just outright denying scientific progress. So I imagine returning half the universe to monkeys while the other half are heavily curated in terms of what they can discover makes it easier for Kakamon to control the progress of Nous's model. Now, all this talk about controlling the circle of knowledge leads us to another possibility. While all the other geniuses are advancing the field of knowledge, what if Primitive's experiments just aren't expanding the circle of knowledge at all? Everything he is doing is ahead of his time, but nothing that will lead to any kind of knowledge singularity. If this were the case, Kakamon wouldn't really have to bother with him, since regardless of what he does, nothing would change the model. Alright, I've kind of been pretty critical on Primitive at this point, saying his experiments aren't all that great and are largely negligible in the eyes of the great Kakamon. But what if the reason Kakamon hasn't killed him is because she just can't find him? Primitive is a well-known fugitive, wanted by several organizations like the IPC and the Galaxy Rangers, who have near unlimited resource and time. Despite this, he has never actually been caught, and each time anyone gets close, he manages to give them the slip. There's even rumors that suggest that he actually enjoys escaping them as sort of a way to show his clear dominance over others less intellectually inclined. So maybe Kakamon wants to kill him, but just can't seem to figure out where he's hiding. To be able to escape the clutches of the foremost genius killer is no easy feat, and I wouldn't be too surprised if he was actually able to achieve this. Primitive is still, after all, a genius. Now, because these are theories, there are a myriad of other possibilities I just didn't mention here. Maybe in truth they are working together, Kakamon killing geniuses while Primitive slows down scientific progress. I mean, given Primitive's knowledge in memetic viruses, it's also possible that he was the one that helped Kakamon hide her identity in the first place. Or maybe Kakamon has a list and his name just hasn't come up yet. The point is that since we don't know the full story, it's hard to say for sure, and all this discussion really just amounts to only theories. So short of getting more speculative with this, I'll just end the video here. Why do you think Kakamon hasn't killed the evil ninja Osaru? Is it because she doesn't need to, or he's just too elusive? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you found the video entertaining, do consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and as usual, have a nice day.